What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 78 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as we saw last time, probably one of my favorite battles so far in the entire campaign, as Simon Moasher attacked the Awakening capital of the Awakened, with an army that was having a little bit of a difficult time breaking through the enemy defenses. There was a tier 5 elite stack guarding it, together with a garrisoned army as well. It was a very close call. We had to fight nearly to the last man to finally break through. Ran out of ammunition on all of our artillery, all of our range units, such as they were, and yeah, we can clearly see the damage. In fact, 2 of the great swords were down to 10 units, and we replaced them by combining them so that we can get a 4th unit of Knights of More as a reward for the guy. Very well done, Simon. Hopefully you get a few more very nice battles as you continue hunting the Awakened for having the temerity to stand against us. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time around, well, we still got money to spend, but I don't believe we have all that much in the way of actual moves to make. We have Gregor, who's still standing outside here. I don't believe we're sieging anything at the very least. Bernhard von Zanger, you are doing what? Wait. We were recruiting, but we do have that recruiting shortage still, so I guess we can wait for another turn rather than get more recruits up. So yeah, alright, fine. We'll keep waiting on that one. Kurt Haldenstred, you can't move right now because you got kind of screwed over by the auto-resolve, so that's fine. Well, fine. Fine may be a strong word, but it is what it is. Let's go with that. Marcus, so you continue the ambush attempt. Let's hope that we can kill Mazdamundi in the field and thereby take Pahwaks, but this stalemate will continue probably until another army makes it out of here instead of us pushing with that, unless we build up another army, which we could also very well do, but we'll see. What else do we have here? Kurt Lehman, Bernhard Hart. I think that's it. I think we moved everybody that needs to be moved, right? I'd love to end the turn, because we're getting closer and closer to actually relieving Karl and helping him out against all the nonsense up north. Alrighty, yeah, that looks like that's it. So, 2 things. Tech is 1, we're going to go back to firing drills for our artillery, since we use them so much. And then we got a little bit of money to spend, but fortunately, most of our buildings have already been selected, so it's not all that much. Kazadir Kulaz, let's bump you up. Then we got the Cracked Land, and yes, to the Clothiers everywhere we can. And let's get that landed estate as well. What do we get in the Pools of Despair? I guess, well, it is a... yeah, we should get the paved roads here, I think. This is the Cracked Land, and together with the, not the Black Pyramid, but the Land of the Dead, these are tier 4 provinces, and they just give us so much stuff. And by tier 4 provinces, I mean provinces with 4 settlements. Also, we don't need the rally field here. We definitely need the construction cost reduction provided by the Mason, however. Let's get that gold mine up and running. Numas, let's build you up so that we can cast Khemri down. A weaving house here, and we already have a weaving house here, so let's go for those fields to make the place grow faster. Let's also get you up into Council of Burgomeisters. Anyway, back to the Land of Assassins. Let's get pottery up and running. That was the only thing. Land of the Dervishes. This is our military hub in the region, so it's fine as it is, I think. Zornus Cool, Falls of Doom. Still not sure that we're going to keep the place, but, you know, it's not a huge expenditure, so we'll start upgrading it, and if we trade it away, we trade it away. Mostly because I just want Blessed Min at this stage in the game. Gash Kadrak. I guess one of the benefits of having these red territories is we probably don't care so much about making money out of them, so we could always just fill them up with capacities for, like, wizards and empire captains and stuff. And there's certainly a use for them. Let's go with that. Anyway, Pat to the east, Blizzard Peak, let's start upgrading you again. And I guess we'll send Leopold to retake Ice Spear afterwards, though he'll have to hold while Nud is busy up north. I'm not going to bother with the reinforced walls here, mostly because I don't think it's worth the expenditure, but we will build stuff at the High Sentinel, including the Iron Smelter, which is always worth our time. Albion, Isle of Wights, yes to the Imperial Harbor, and definitely yes to the defenses. They're going to take forever to build, but we still do need them here. And let's get the weaving house, I guess. Not that I expect the place to make a crazy amount of money, but because the Ogham stones provide a bonus we really should make some use of it. Awakening, we're probably going to get rid of half of this stuff, but just in case we get attacked, I'm going to keep you as you are for now. And, oh, we're actually going to trade the place away to the Bordello Errant, just to power them up as an ally, essentially. So, yeah. Tavern here in the Blighted Marshes. And just for the additional capacity, the Moot. Ah, yes. What were we going to build here? We don't need the cattle ranch because... Why do we not need a cattle ranch? And give us a little bit of money. 100 versus what? Versus we can make 300, 562. Actually, not so bad. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Alternatively, we could get more wizard capacity because it doesn't really matter, but not to build the Tailor's Guild just doesn't seem quite right. So yeah, Weaving House it is. Alrighty, Guanji Valley. What do we got here? Wallatal, I'm still fairly inclined to trade you away, so I'm not going to spend any money on you. And Sunken Kernark, we are going to trade you away because we don't care, and it's a red territory. Mountains of Nalfari, same thing for you. Barrier Idols. I'm not sure whether we're going to keep the place either, so we'll just ignore it for now. Other than the iron mine, but yeah, you know. And I think the rest of the stuff isn't super important. Well, maybe. Maybe we'll keep the Icetooth Mountains. But not right now. Oh, Black Pyramid, you actually are important, because what if we have the Black Pyramid endgame scenario? You are definitely going to need the defensive structure then. And you will make no money, but you can certainly still provide us with plenty of capacities, and we're going to get you the paved roads because you're going to power up the Khemri and the Black Tower of Arcan around you. That makes sense to me. We'll probably have to trade out that landed estate, and... yeah, the corruption that we get from the Vault of Nagash is still going to completely screw us over. The minus 12 corruption is not going to counteract it. Anyway, that's it for the cash. We're at 70 treasury, which means we can end the turn finally. Skip, skip, skip. Hero not moved. Now we move the heroes. Can we get attacked anywhere? Well, really we can, but this is the one place that really, really concerns me. In fact, I'm going to level everybody up just in case. Hey, he got 2 levels from that? Damn well he should. He deserves 2 levels for that fight. We're gonna get you on a steel and Imperial Gunnery. On a steel for the Great Swords and Gunnery. Oh, wait. What about Speed of Horse? Well, technically he needs both. We have mortars who can currently take advantage of the buff and 1 unit of the knights and more. Well, on a steel either way, we'll start with Imperial Gunnery, and honestly the Speed of Horse upgrade isn't great because they're already very heavily armored, whereas this provides missile strength and ammunition, which we did run out of in that fight. So clearly that counteracts an issue that we currently have. You are still not able to get Soulfire as yet, but we definitely need replenished troops because these guys are having a little bit of a tough time being replenished. And last but not least, Pit of Shades. Finally. Maybe I should have waited on scouting on improved scrying techniques and just gone for Pit of Shades. Anyway, now we can end the turn. Bernard, what are you doing? Oh, you're just moving a little bit closer to Wolfie? Yeah, that's fine. I keep confusing myself because I've been calling Wolfheart Wolfie, but most of the time I call Wolfric Wolfie. They can't both be Wolfie. I guess I could call one of them Wolferie. I kind of don't like that either. You want a military alliance, Order of Lore Masters? I forget. Are we? Wait, we cited Kairos and declared war on him, did we not? Yeah, we did. So I guess now the military alliance is something that we can do. Oh, wait, no. The problem with this is that you don't like the... you don't like the dwarves here. Counteroffer. I guess we could go defensive alliance. It's a little bit risky, though. And the same reason why we didn't do a defensive alliance with the Last Defenders. I'm honestly not sure about this one, but... what's the likelihood that the dwarfs actually attack them, though? Pretty small, right? They may not like each other. Nah, you know what, fine. Let's go defensive alliance. It's not like we're not already fighting the Tzeentchans. Alright, Cult of Pleasure, Blessed Dread. Ooh, also while the turn is happening, just want to remind you guys that there's currently a vote going on for the next campaign, which is going to be a Dark Elf SFO campaign. I believe Morathi and Malekith are neck and neck, interestingly enough, no comment. And on top of that, I'll be streaming for the rest of the week, doing some 40k bolt gun, as well as Diablo 4 over on Twitch, testing out different times of the day for streaming, as well as the difference between Twitch and YouTube for streaming as well, so do check that out, and please do drop me a follow over on Twitch if you can, and because it really helps out. Looks like the Urson Revivalists are going to get attacked by Clan Ferric here, which means we have to enter war on their side. A little bit annoying, but what can you do? Oh, and while okay, I gotta move my cat 1 second. And of course, while I was moving my cat, my chair hit the mic. Hopefully that didn't deafen everybody. I'm not sure what that actually sounds like when it happens. What do we have here? Under More Sleeves Glare. Oh, right, the War Fervor for everybody. Yeah, sure, why not? It's 1,500 money. It's not like it'll make any kind of difference to us at this time. And the ambush got foiled, but ooh, hello. These guys are building up armies outside the settlement now. Well, I like that. I like that very much. Banner of Swiftness, Confederation between Talzin and Torgavon. That's great. That's actually great. Yes, it means we don't have access to Torgavon's units, but the good thing about this is that Talzin and Arguelon are currently fighting most of the same factions we're fighting, and so same with the factions that our allies are fighting. Torgavon and Vidrioth have a more difficult time doing the same thing, so I'd rather not risk them getting into a war with our allies out there. Also, we still have to try to get Grimhold, and, well, I guess we'll wait until we have Gristle Valley, then we'll get Grimhold. We should be able to confederate these guys really soon. I think we're like 1 or 2 turns away at this point. Unless I'm mistaken. Anyway, we gotta stop looking at the Wood Elves. Actually, no, there is a reason to look at the Wood Elves. I want to see how close we are to acquiring our 3 Treemen. Ooh, we can build Blade Singers. It's tempting, but no, Treemen are something we don't have. 57 next turn for Arguelon's Treemen, and okay, like 4 more turns for Tulzin's Treemen, and then Avalorn's Treemen, 44, so yeah, alright, looks like 3 more turns. Honestly, it looks like by the time that our army gets to where it needs to go, we'll actually have access to those Treemen, so yeah, that's fine. And ooh, hello. It looks like these guys are getting closer to our territory, and by these guys I mean the rats. Throt the Unclean is out here, so oh, yes, he's in range of Kurt Helborg's army, which means Kurt Helborg gets his debut today. We're gonna jump right into that. And we'll check everything else out afterwards. I'm too excited. Speed of Horse for the Reiksguard, and Demigryph Knights. You are buffed by Honest Steel, and so are the Great Swords. And you're going to keep Demigryph, so yeah, Honest Steel it is. Alright, Kurt, I'm very happy for you, buddy. And let's upgrade your captain, or Reichskaptain, I should say, Frankenwerter. Oh, now we're saving points to get the Demigryph so that you can get Tender War Horses. Alright, fair enough. Our nearly all cavalry army almost ready to go. I actually just want to double check whether we can get that last Reiksguard unit in there. No, but we can get the Teutogan Guard. And, okay, we gotta put the Eldred's Guard in somewhere as well. And, Azazel, you little... you ran away from this. What a little coward. Okay, well, we'll deal with that afterwards. That's quite annoying. I suspected that he might do that, and he did, and it annoys me nonetheless. Anyway, what does Throt have? Ooh, Doom Wheels. Doom Wheels versus Cav. We got some Poison Wind Mortars, Warplug Jezzails, most definitely an elite army. Kurt, you're gonna have some fun today. Oh, I should probably give you some better items, though they're not bad. Alright, I'm sure you'll be fine. I believe in you, Kurt. Let's give the Banner of Eternal Flame to Kurt himself. The Griffin Banner on your banner carrier, which is going to be the Warrior Priest, and the Rampager Standard probably on one of the Demigryphs. Let's say the ones with halberds, because they're probably not going to... And again... Who's more reliant on charge one? These guys already have 60, whereas these guys, yeah, I think we give it to one of the ones that have less of a charge bonus, as opposed to leaning further into a charge bonus, as the bonus has very much diminishing returns over a certain point. Anyway, here we go, Kurt Helborg debut.
It will be done!
Alrighty, here we go. The REIKSMARSHAL and his Reiksguard are finally ready to debut. Gonna be a pretty interesting time, as while Throt the Unclean's army is perhaps smaller, it is nonetheless quite elite. And then, of course, there's Throt himself. We're gonna open up the battle, obviously, with our Fire Rain rockets, Hellstorm rocket batteries, who are going to focus two very threatening units, the Warplock Jezzails and the Deathglow Bombardiers, who should be probably the most threatening things on the map after Throt himself. In terms of our setup, we do have 4 units of Reiksguard traveling forward together with Kurt Helborg, as well as our Jade Wizard to keep them healed up if they should charge. Over on the flanks, we have both units of Demigryph Knights and a single unit of Reiksguard led by an Empire Captain, and then repeated over on this flank. The Reiksguard are essentially going to help out the Demigryph Knights in finding and destroying the Doom Wheels before converging on the enemy infantry and missile troops. We're going to hope to destroy the enemy artillery and such with our range firepower before they do too much damage to us, though we'll have to see. And we do have our Jade Wizard to help us out as well, so he's going to pop that Dwellers Below right on top of that unit of Warp Lightning Cannons. Their crew should be very fragile, so this should destroy them, and it looks like it did manage to clip the enemy unit of Jezzails as well, which sees them run off the field. Dwellers Below and Rockets Above, that's not a place you want to be in. And let's see, Clan Rats are running out. What about the units of Death Globes? Looks like they're pretty much done for as well. They also got clipped by the Dwellers Below. Well, ain't that swell. Alright, well, it looks like that's going reasonably well. The Doom Wheels are now being caught on every side of the map. We've also managed to charge one of the Reiksguard through and catch the Poison Wind Mortars out here, hopefully before they do any damage back here. We did have to keep our Imperial Foot to guard the Hellstorm rocket batteries, unfortunately, mostly unfortunately because I'd love for them to fight, but Menace Below would otherwise be a threat to our artillery pieces, and we can't have that. Alrighty, let's see how quickly we can down these. Okay, I couldn't even finish the sentence. A Doom Wheel goes down to the Demigryphs, but Demigryphs with Halberds versus a Doom Wheel is a horrifically bad matchup for said Doom Wheel. I just saw the Menace Below tunnel open up, so it looks like the enemy is flooding the field with the rats where our Reiksguard have charged, and thus our Reiksguard are starting to take damage. This army does seem like it fights very, very fast, which is hardly surprising for a pretty much all-cavalry army. So at 1 minute and 33 seconds, we're getting close, I think, to the end of the battle. On the bright side, it looks like the last of the Doom Wheels are just about to be destroyed. There will be some Doom Flayers still left alive, but they should be cleaned up pretty fast as well. Poor Doom Wheels. Would have been fantastic against a very cavalry heavy, or very infantry rather heavy army, but certainly not against all of this. And there we go, and we also have our Demigryphs with the Lances in this army, which we haven't been using in any of our other armies, which have been primarily using the Demigryphs with Halberds. Mostly because I like the Halberd ones better, because I think one of the great things about Demigryphs is that they're fairly tanky as compared to shock cavalry like Reiksguard, so you can use your Reiksguard for your shock cav, whereas Demigryph shock cav, I don't know. I'd rather have them tank when needed, and then the Reiksguard charge in. But obviously we have a limited capacity and we want to use both anyway. Anyway, the Reiksguard are fighting and surrounding the enemy. Throt the Unclean is also doing massive amounts of damage to everybody. He's badly hurt Kurt Helborg, taking about 1/3 of his HP, and probably killing off at least a few of our Knights, 10. And by the looks of it, he also took more than half of the HP of our Reikschaplain, so we do have to be careful there. Looks like the Plague Monk Sensor Bearers are also doing a fantastic job at fighting, and unfortunately we no longer have the mana to cast another Dwellers Below to kill them all. We are going going to maintain our mana instead to cast repeated use of Earthblood in combination with that passive Life Bloom to keep our Reiksguard and our tanky, as I was saying, Demigriffs nice and healed. And this is where the Demigriffs with those halberds come in, as opposed to those lances. Surround Throt and use those anti-large halberds to rip him and his brute horror apart, though it looks like he's no slouch, and he's certainly hitting back. By the looks of it, the enemy has also used the last of its menaces below, and thus we send our Imperial Foot to fight and support their cavalry-bound Reichsfellows. You have to learn to talk in such a way that everything in this army is a Reich something. Alright, come on, swing those Reich swords. Alrighty, and looking good over there. We still have the Plague Monk Sensor Bearers left to take care of, and yeah, damn, these guys have been, they've been surviving. They've been in combat for quite a while, which is surprising, though to be fair, a lot of our Reiksguard were in combat for a while as well, which means they no longer had their charge bonuses. And with Throt the Unclean running away, though he was relatively undamaged as I recall. Yeah, he's lost about 1/3-ish of his HP, and he's healing up on top of that. But otherwise, the battle is ours, just a few more Plague Bearers or Sensor Bearers to kill. I don't think we've given them an entry. We certainly haven't lost a unit, even though a couple of our cavalry units did get hurt. This didn't turn out so bad. Can't wait to see what the army actually functions like when we have a lot more buffs on all of our cavalry, as obviously Kurt being only level 8, that's going to take a little bit of time to level everybody up. But I am pretty happy with his debut. It's going to be fun to use this army against various types of forces, because it's going to play very differently from forces that aren't, like, 85% cavalry. Anyway, a decisive victory against Throt the Unclean. I don't think we're going to be using Kurt specifically to take Clan Molder out, as in somebody else can probably move to help it, as we need to move in to help Karl up north. Or at least I think. Let's think about this. Alrighty, there we go. A very nice little fight against Throt's elite army. Throt is an absolute beast, though. 21,000 damage, and I feel like if the rest of his army hadn't shattered, rather, he probably would have done even more damage to us. A scary, scary lord, and definitely difficult to bring down. Probably no match for Karl, don't get me wrong, but Kurt needs a lot more levels before he can face off against such a legend. We are going to, well, get the money, because these two options for Empire have always been garbage, and they remain so. But it's okay. And there we go. Kurt, 15% extra hit points. It's a frankly fantastic defeat trait, and I'd love to get it on pretty much all of our lords if we can. Winds of Power Reserve change, plus 10% when increasing. Sure, Hedge Wizard. You don't need the Scarecrow banner. We'll probably replace it for something. Kissavite Kossars. Oh, hello. Ranked up in territory belonging to Kislev, we get campaign movement range increase. That is fantastic. We don't need it on Reichskapitän Frankenwerter. But, yeah, that is something we want. Ooh, and I just saw that Frankenwerter leveled up to level 10, which means tend your war horses, and Demigriff is what we want. The other guy has that already, right? Yeah. He went through Raise Your Hammers, and then through to Dwarf Forged Plate, and then Foe Seeker. I just wanted to double check what exactly we went through with this guy, so we do the same thing here. Raise Your Hammers, 1 Dwarf Forged Plate, and then 1 Demigriff. Oh, do we have to manually switch you? No, we do not. You are already on your Demigriff. Now our 4 Demigriff Knights are led by Demigriff Captains. Ain't it so beautiful? We are going to want to move out of Fort Ostrosk, however, because Skaven Plague frightens me. Oh, damn, we can't leave it. That's not good. Well, hopefully next turn we'll be able to. Or rather, hopefully we don't get the plague, because that would be annoying. I guess the question now for Kurt is whether we head towards Help It or not. I feel like most likely we're better off leaving Help It to Alberic and to Ludwig, mostly because we can move Kurt instead towards Karl, who clearly needs it. Boris is back up and running, but he can't build any elite stuff, so we still have to babysit his territory for him. Egrim is here, but I think we're probably not going to bother with him. Karl, you're going to heal for a turn. Back to full HP. I wonder, can we... I was wondering whether we could move to the Pillar of Skulls, but probably not. Egram could probably reach the Monolith of Bubonicus, which I'm also not a big fan of. How many territories does Clan Ferric have currently? Oh, wow, and they're sieging Karak Vlag! Man, we gave all 3 of these territories to Regu Kislev, and then they're gonna lose them all like this. Oh, what are you doing, Regu Kislev? Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to send an army up there to retake this. Regular Kislev's been quite disappointing. It feels like the Orthodox are doing much, much better, although perhaps it's just by virtue of them not having lost their main army. Well, either way, let's see what else we've got. If Karl's going to stay there, although I suppose if Egram leaves, we could try to move a little bit away from the Monolith of Bubonicus. Like this way. I'd like to see where Akarak the Crow went, and if we become in range of one of these places, head to them. It would be nice to take out the Writhing Fortress as well, even though Nud is on the way. Actually, speaking of Nud, take the Floating Mountain, please. Don't really care about Dragon's Death. We're going to ignore all these territories and give them to our allies. Nud, auto-resolve this real quick. A little bit of damage, but hardly relevant, and occupy it. We just have to get close enough to one of our allies in order to actually get them. There we go, the Dolgan destroyed, which is why we sent you up here, so that they can't get any more armies going our way. Let's pop State Troop Levy, just in case we actually need to stay in this territory. I don't know whether we can... Yeah, we can't hit the Plains of Zendaijan or the Gallows Tree, so we might want to move up this way. Honestly, I'm very tempted to ignore Village's faction right now, regardless of what they do to this territory, and continue up this way to meet up with Karl. These guys are going to be a lot more annoying than Village, frankly, as I doubt Village will ever move far enough for him to be an actual threat to us. Plus, we could give all of the territory here to the Ogres, if we really wanted to as well. Anyway, that is that. Let's see, who else might have something interesting to do? Ah, yes, Morgheim. Is there anything there, I guess, is a question. Which we can't answer right now because we can't reach it. Lovely. Alright, what about you? Aldebras, could you possibly reach it? No. Alright, well then you guys just cross over. And cross over. Do still have to watch out for that, but... And you, I guess, have to sit here. And we can't have you getting killed by a random Skaven strike. So, yeah, just sit there until we're ready for you, buddy. And we'll figure that out. How is Khemri looking? Okay, this one I think was safe for a cinematic battle. This will be their last fight in the campaign, and Volkmar should most definitely properly enjoy it. And let's see what we got here. Jamathius Warner. Ah, you're done, aren't you? Wait, 1 second. 6 and 3 minus 3. Yeah, we're done. Okay, so you can transfer the flagellant. Wait, no. You can transfer these guys. You know what? Transfer all of them for now. Like so. Adolphus Kemp, you're going to run over there while you continue building these guys. And we'll do some... You know what? Let's start building at least a couple of Sigmarite disciples. We don't have that thing that was screwing us over with regards to recruitment costs. Do we? Not anymore by the looks of it. At least 2 more disciples for now, and then we'll see how much room we have afterwards. You are going to march stance all the way out here. You won't be able to join the battle, but you will be able to transfer the troops over in a turn or so. Anyway, I think with that, this is probably going to be a pretty good place to call it. We have some cinematic battles remaining, but we'll have to do them next time and give them proper justice. Simon looks to have survived another turn, so in another turn, he will be good to fight again and continue taking revenge on the Awakened for damaging his army, so he'll be moving down to the Blood Swamps after this. Should be a fun time after another turn. Otherwise, we will continue trying to ambush Mazdamundi, but also might attack him outside of Pahwaks and draw him into a battle out there. I'll think about it. We do have this army nearly healed up, so when it's ready, it might be a decent option for us. Anyway, stay tuned for more Karl as we get closer to the endgame scenario and the last of the confederations. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.